Hey guys, I'll just share my screen. Google Drive, currently it is empty. Okay, so here you can create your all documents, publish it. Okay, so Google separately gives you the Word, Excel sheet options. Okay, apart from that, okay, you can write all the Python programs in Google Drive itself. Okay, you can write your all the programs, and also it comes with a pre-installed with the many of the libraries. Okay, so unlike Anaconda, so where you need to install, once you install it, it gives you the most of the packages, but it doesn't gives you the deep learning packages. But when you use the Google Collaboratory online, okay, so it is called as Google Collaboratory in simple words, Google Colab or Collaboratory. Okay, so Google Collaboratory complete. Okay, so it's basically used for online Python coding, machine learning and deep learning application development. Okay, with the free resources to use GPU and TPU. Okay, so what is GPU and TPU? This is actually graphical processing unit. Okay, so then TPU, tensor processing unit. Okay, tensor processing unit is almost like a GPU. Okay, but optimized for neural network applications. Okay, to process the neural network algorithms. Okay, effectively. Okay, when we go, so whenever we scale up the applications, okay, so when we have a, so when we use deep learning applications, okay, so with a larger data set, so memory requirement and processing requirement both increases. Okay, so let's say you want to process a 4 GB data. Okay, you require a more RAM at that time, okay, to hold that data and to process, okay, at a faster rate. Okay, at a faster rate you require GPUs are required. Okay, general processing unit. Okay, so there also memory constraint of GPU also increases. Okay, so Google will provide you 12 GB RAM, okay, and free GPUs. Maybe that is also again 12 GB, I guess. Okay, so this is what it provides you, and memory up to 100 GB memory options it gives you. Okay, so that's the free thing. Okay, so mostly your laptop configuration will be having a 4 GB or 8 GB RAM with a 1 TB hard disk and all, but you will not have a graphics unit. Most of the cases you may have a internal graphics, but what about the external graphics like NVIDIA and all? Okay, so you may, even if you're having, it will be hardly 2 GB and all. Okay, they are not sufficient when you start working on the like larger applications, like deep learning and applications and all. Okay, so that time upgrading your systems will be expensive. Okay, so example, if you want to buy an 8 GB graphics card, okay, if you're trying to buy a 8 GB NVIDIA graphics card, so it will like depending on the series. Okay, NVIDIA 2060 series. Okay, if you're trying to buy it, okay, so it will be costing more than 60 to 70,000 rupees. Okay, and that if you're trying to buy it for laptop, again the prices are different. Okay, And if you want to buy a good laptop for deep learning application, it will cost you at least 2 lakhs rupees. Okay, if you want to buy a complete laptop with all the installations like hardware requirement, so it will cost you at least 2 lakhs if you're buying a new one. Okay, so but you can have a used one which are from industries, okay, at lower cost, but a new laptop will cost you at least 2 lakhs for the deep learning application. Okay. And moreover, there are companies which provides you with the good laptops specially designed for deep learning application. Okay, so and this investment will be at the beginning stage, it will be very expensive. For that purpose, so make use of the online free resources available. Okay, so then if you want to increase your memories and all, online itself you can buy it. Okay, so that will be least expensive compared to buying a physical hardware on your own. Okay, because now you purchase a 2 lakhs rupees worth laptop with a few memory requirements, but if the memory requirement again increases, again you have to invest it. Okay, so that will be expensive. Okay, the companies working in AI domain also, they make use of the online cloud itself, okay, rather than using a individual laptops hardwares. Okay, yes, at the beginning stage you can make use of your laptop local machines. Okay, but for higher learnings, so it is better to use the online resources available. Okay, yes guys, all of you opened, so then I'll explain you people how do you go ahead and make use of this. Okay, let me give a second. Here comes this here, like you can go for this new option, right click and go to more option. One second guys. Okay, so go to new option here and select more. In that, here I'm not finding the Google Colab option. I'll go and select connect more apps. Connect more apps. So once you choose this option, here search, okay, for Colab. So you already got Collaboratory, choose that one. Now click on this Collaboratory. Now click on this. So it is asking you to install, so install it. Now click on continue. So choose the okay, it is done. Okay, it's a quick installation. Okay, so now click on done, close it. Okay, so that is a one-time setup, you have to do it. Okay, next time you need not to do it for the same Google Drive. Okay, so once it is done, again go to the new, go to more option. Now you can find this Google Collaboratory available now. That means you can use this application now, which was not installed earlier. Now it got installed. Now you can start a Google Collaboratory application. Okay, so once you click on this, automatically it will create a Jupyter notebook like, it will automatically create a Jupyter notebook like notebook, okay, which is very similar to that. Click on Google Collaboratory. Okay, so this is done. The creation part is done. So first you need to make sure that you will connect the device. Okay, so that means to the host you need to connect it. Okay, so you can use locally also. I'm not using the local machine, so I'm going to use the hosted runtime. Click on this hosted runtime. So once here it shows connected, that means you are ready to use this Google Collaboratory. Okay, so now if I start with the basic Python programming, okay, let me start with the basic Python programming. I'll take up two variables, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3, c is equal to a plus b. If I want to print this number, I'll type print, print. Okay, it is like your C program, right? Printf statement. So print the variable C. Okay, I'll write sum of a and b is comma C. Okay, so execute it. To execute, what you can do is you can select this cell and click on Control Shift Enter. Okay, so that will execute that cell and gives you the result, and it will create a new cell automatically. Okay, to execute this cell, I'm writing command using hash shift enter to execute that particular cell. Okay, so automatically the result is visible here. So that is our first program we have written. Okay, if you want to change this code file name, you can change it. Okay, so lab1, okay, that is the file name. Then go to file, and in case you want, you can save it. Okay, now if you go to your Google Drive here, you can see that the file is there here. So currently it is untitled. If you just refresh your Google Drive, you can see that the name is lab1.ipname. Later on, you can use this file wherever you are sitting. You can sit at any part of this world and you can use it in any systems. Okay, you don't require to install Anaconda or anything. Okay, so because this is totally doing it online. Okay, only thing you require is an internet and a Google account, and it is completely free. Google account, you're already aware of it. Created a new folder called as machine learning. I created, and I'm opening it here. I'll add a new file, so I'll upload the file. Okay, so I have this CSV file added here. Complete it from you, all of you. Okay, now I want to read that file. So I'm importing a pandas library first. Okay, so pandas library is helpful for reading any kind of Excel sheets or comma separated value files or text files. Okay, so JSON and all. Okay, so I'm just trying to read it now with an inverted quote. So I'm given the file name here. Data is equal to pd dot read underscore CSV. So read underscore CSV means I am reading a comma separated value file. If you are reading an Excel sheet, okay, if you are reading an Excel sheet, okay, so what do you mention it? So it will be equal to data equal to pd dot read underscore Excel. Okay, read underscore Excel of that file name. Okay, whatever the file name. Okay, file name dot file format. Okay, so what is the file format? Usually it will be Excel SX. So that is a file name. Okay, like this you will start reading the files. Okay, if you want to read a text file, documents and all, you can read it in the same manner. Okay, so now I have this file. I'll try to read it. Okay, so but when I try to read it, so it will throw me an error. It is throwing the error, no such file or a directory. Actually the file is here in my drive and machine learning folder. File is present. Why it is giving me this error? Okay, here in Google Drive, okay, so we need to give the path for reading any file. Okay, you whatever the file you're reading, it can be any file. Okay, so you need to give the path. Okay, so but before we provide the path, before giving the path, make sure to mount the drive. Okay, we need to mount the drive. Okay, so that means it is like linking the drive with the Google Colab. It is like that. Okay, so only once we mount it, then only we can read any files. Okay, so to read a file you need to give the path. Okay. See, for this local coding we don't require to mount the drive and all, because you are working in this file itself. Okay, but you are reading any file outside this. Okay, that means any file you are reading from a drive means you need to mount that particular drive. So how you are going to mount it? Okay, I'll show you the option to mount it. So this is important, and it is generic for any file. Say example, I'm reading in images or I'm reading in an Excel sheet, whatever it may be. So this procedure remains the same. Note it here. I'll go to files option here. Can you see this at the bottom? Files option. Okay, I'll go to here, mount drive option. Select that mount drive option. Okay, so permit this notebook to access your Google Drive files. Okay, so connect to Google Drive. Please select that option and select your account. So this is mounted. Okay, the drive has been mounted. Okay, now if you can see, this drive folder is there. Okay, in that my drive comes. Within that I have a machine learning folder. Inside this you have a fuel consumption.csv. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. This is one way of mounting the drive. Okay, so alternatively, okay, what can be done? Okay, let me show you one more option. So this is unmount. Now again I'm just showing the option to mount. Click on mount drive. So connect to Google Drive option. It is mounting your Google Drive. So this is one way of doing it. See example, it is having a 70 GB available space. Okay, you can see that the RAM available, the memory and all. Okay, you can actually check it. If you click, you just go here, it shows it is giving you the 12 GB of RAM, and the hard disk space is 107 GB. In that 36 GB is used, and the rest is free to usage. Okay, this is one way of doing it. So once you give this code, run this cell. Okay, so once you execute that cell, it will ask you to enter the authorization code. So how do you get this authorization code? By clicking on this link, you can generate the authorization code. So it is authorization code is nothing but previously you have selected that give the permission, right? It is somewhat similar to that. Okay, so making sure that you are giving a permission to access your drive. So that is for the Google Drive. Google Colab can access your drive. Okay, so click on this accounts. Choose your relevant account. Okay, I am choosing my Bendrix.data1 account. Okay, so click on sign in option. So once you do that sign in, Okay, so you can copy this code, okay, which is generated. I can see that. Just click on this. Don't try to manually copy it, just click on this icon, so it will automatically copy that code, authorization code. Okay, just copy this and come back to your Google Colab, click somewhere on this enter authorization code option, paste it. So once you pasted, click enter. So that's it, you're done. Okay, now you're free to use that Google Drive. So that is how we mounted the drive. Okay, any questions on mounting the drive? Okay, please let me know. To change the directory, you need to import the OS. Okay, to know which directory you are currently in, use the ls command. So now I am changing the directory to content/drive. Inside the drive you have a my drive folder. Inside my drive we have machine learning folder. Actually you can see that in machine learning folder I have copied my fuel consumption.csv file. Okay, as per the folder names of your whatever the folder name you used, accordingly change the folder name here. So I'll write it here, machine learning. Okay, slash. So let me check the current path. This is my current directory now. Okay, so this is either by changing the directory. Now after changing the directory, if you try to read it, okay, so automatically it can read that file. Okay, now if I'm trying to print that data, okay, I can actually print that. So now I'm not getting error, so I'm able to read that file. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. Alternatively, what you can do it, okay, so but for both the things, so you make sure that you have mounted the drive. After mounting the drive, so alternatively what you can do is you can give this path completely. Okay, take this path. So this is before changing the directory. You can just give this path slash the file name. So this will also work. Okay, you don't need to do this method, that is changing the directory. You don't need to do that. Okay, so directly you mention the path slash the file name. So this is alternate option. Okay, so this is the best method. Okay, so because you have got another file in another directory. Okay, so then again and every time you need to start changing the directory. Okay, instead of changing the directory, okay, give that particular path. Okay, so before giving the path, make sure that file exists in that path. Okay, and even if you're doing a small mistake of while giving the file path, okay, so you will not be able to read the file. And this method remains same for reading any kind of files. Okay, whether you are using pandas or some other library. Okay, but how do you give the paths? This is how you give the path. Okay, first you mount the drive. Okay, and then give the path. Okay, so always in Google Drive, path starts with content/my drive and my drive. This is common. Apart from that, if you want to create a new folders, you can create your own folders here like this. Any question on this? Please let me know. You can find it. I am asking any different number. Can you see this? This particular row, it is named as NAN. Okay, what is the meaning of that? NAN stands for not a number. NAN stands for what? Not a number. So here also Germany, in this particular row, the salary is a missing. Okay, these two are called as missing values. Okay, these two are called as what? Missing values. Okay, so in your data set, whenever we collect a data, okay, so there are chances like these kind of things will happen. Okay, so now we are going to discuss, okay, so how to handle missing data. How to handle the missing data. Okay, so first of all, what are missing data? Okay, missing data is one, okay, where during the collection of the information, so there is a chance like the information is not available at that moment. Okay, So for that it will become a null value. Okay, so instead of a null value, what happens when you read it using the pandas? Okay, so in Excel sheet, if you find out, if you look at using the Excel sheet, let me share you my full screen. And I'm just opening that data sheet. Okay, you can see here, actually here the values are not present. Okay, so wherever the values are not present, those rows or those values will be replaced with the not a number when you read it using the pandas, whenever you read it. Okay, now when we feed it to the machine learning algorithm, this will automatically throws an error, because this is of a different data and this is all of a sudden you have something different value. Okay, it is not understood by your ML algorithms. Okay, so then what I have to do, I need to replace this or I need to remove this row. Okay, which one is better? Priyadarshini? Priyadarshini, tell me, now I have missing values at this place and this place, right? So tell me, should I completely discard this row, or it is better to replace that value with some other value? Replace is better. Why replacing is better? Okay, consider replacing is better option at this moment. Okay, tell me with what value I should replace it? Some number. Can I replace it with 90? But the age of the 90 is becomes totally different from what is there in that other values in that column. 50. Why 50? Like this you cannot make some assumption, right? Yeah, so that leads to some wrong kind of information. Okay, so that may lead to different kinds of prediction result in your model whenever we build it later on. Okay, yeah, replacing is better than removing the entire row. Okay, so that we are not losing the information. Okay, sometimes removing the row is better. Okay, when you have a large data set, so removing is okay, so it doesn't create any problem. But when you have a small data set, so removing a row may be of some importance. Okay, so if you're removing that kind of row, you may losing the important information also certain cases. Okay, so what kind of data it is, Priya? What is the data type of these values in this particular age column? Float. These are float, right? Okay, numerical values. Okay, I'll consider them as numerical values. Okay, when you have a numerical values, okay, numerical values missing, okay, so prefer to replace with mean value. It is better we replace it with a mean value. Okay, if I take, what is mean by mean? So take an average of this column. Okay, add all the values and divide it by 10. Okay, so what is the value we are going to get? So replace with that value. Okay, so that you are not misguiding the data, right, Priya?
Yes, sir.
So is it better, right, replacing it with a mean value compared to selecting some random number? So that means you will be in a particular range. Okay, certain cases you can take median also. In example cases, certain cases you can take a median also. Okay, so now you can replace this column and this values with the mean value. Fine, Priya. Okay, now 1 minute. Navya. Navya Bandari.
Yes.
Yes, Navya. Navya, tell me, so what I have to do here for missing values?
Mean.
Replace it with
Mean
the
value.
mean value. Okay, so take the sum of these values. Okay, so divide the all the values by
10.
1 minute, so equal to summation of this 1 minute. This is equal to summation what is the sum you are getting? It is sum as 349. Okay, whole divided by 9. Okay, 38.78. Okay, so this is equal to what value? The average of this value. Okay, there is some, yeah, I cannot replace like that. So it is 38.77. it is the mean age, so I am going to replace it here with the 38.778. Similarly for this also you will do that. Okay, Navya,
Yes, sir.
my now question is, I am removing this France. Okay, so then what value you are going to replace it here? Consider there is a missing value at this place.
Yes, sir.
So how do you replace it here? For numeric values it is fine, straight away you can take a mean value or a median. Okay, so then you can replace it or you can discard it. Okay, so what I would do when I have text value, can I take a mean for a text value? No, you cannot take any mean, right? Can we take Navya?
No, sir.
No. Then what is the solution? Okay, I'll ask you, can you count how many times of France is repeated here? The frequency of say example, so this is the frequency for France. Okay, tell me what is the frequency?
3 times, sir.
3 times okay, then what about Germany?
3 times.
It is also 3 times. What about Spain?
3 times, sir.
Okay, now there is a problem, right? We have all the names repeated equally. Okay, so now you can replace it with any one of this. Okay, consider frequency of the France is 4 or frequency of this France is 3 and Germany is 4. In that case you are going to replace this value with the most frequent data. Okay, with what value you are going to replace? You are going to replace it with the most frequent data. Okay, when they are equal, okay, when you have missing data, but in practical cases you don't find any kind relation like where the equal amount of samples are there, but it is very rare. Even if you are getting that rare condition, what you can do is you can choose any one of them. Okay, so but obviously you are going to find you replace it with the most frequent one. Okay, so when you use the mean and when to use the most frequent? Nandan, Belgeri. Raghavendra, Nirligi.
Yes, sir.
Raghavendra, tell me when to use the mean and when to use the most frequent.
While replacing the numbers, we use mean, sir.
It is not we use, it is better to use the mean. Okay.
Better to use notice. Okay, sir.
Okay. So then when to use most frequent, when it is better?
While replacing country name or while replacing names, sir.
Not names, it is a text data. Okay. When you want to replace a text data.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or a character data. Okay. So currently it is representing country. Sometimes it may represent your names also, right? It may represent a college names. I have a college student names. Okay, so their ages, I have a different college names here. Okay, some college names are missing a few students. Okay, what I'll replace it. Okay, that time replacing with the most frequent one may mislead it. Okay, in that case what I'll do is I'll better discard it. Okay, to not to make any confusions. Okay, but if it is something other things, okay, where the which location they are from and all, okay, so then there is a chance like I can replace it with the most frequent. Okay, then there is a chance like it may not harm the outcome which it is going to give it. Okay, so like that, any of these options you can choose it. Okay, so what are the suitables? Let me take up. Okay, so numerical values means you replace with the mean value. Okay, so then character data missing can be replaced with the most frequent data. Okay, so this is called as mode. It is actually called as mode. Mean and mode. Okay, these are the two options. Fine. Shall we try this example? Okay, so we will try this example now. Give me a second. In categorical data, as I mentioned, we have label encoding and one-hot encoding. In label encoding is useful. So when categorical information or a categorical data has a different meaning or variable values, okay, or importance or weightage. Okay, suitable word is weightage. Okay, so different meaning or a so different weightage. Okay, different weightage. You will get some more clarity about this. Okay, so next is one-hot encoding. So applied to categorical data having equal weightage. Okay, what are the meanings of these? Okay, so let me show you the meanings of these things. Okay. Lakshmi Putra.
Yes, sir.
So tell me here, there are country names are there, right?
Yes, sir.
So basically this is the data about purchasing an SUV or any purchase, okay, based upon their country, age and salary. Okay, so in predicting their purchasing capacity, okay, whether they can purchase a gold or not, alright, whether they can purchase an SUV or not, whether they can purchase a aeroplane or not, looking at salary, age and the country. Okay, so we need to predict it. Okay, during this prediction, okay, it is found out that this country name is not having any useful information for this prediction. Okay, it is only the age and the salary which is matters a lot here. Okay, in that case, does the countries, okay, France, Spain, Germany, has any meaning or any weightage? No, right?
No, sir.
So they are equal in nature. Okay, so label encoding is done like this. Label encoding is done in the way that, okay, when you do a like whenever you find out a categorical data, you just assign a numerical value to it. Okay, in label encoding what we do is, so just apply a give a or assign a numerical value. Okay, in this example case, how many countries are there? How many countries are there?
3 countries.
France, let me take it as 0. Germany, I'll assign it as
Spain.
1. Then you have a
Spain.
Spain. Okay, this you will assigning it with the value 2. Okay, so 0, 1 and 2, these are the numerical values. I'm going to replace it here. Consider. Okay, so what happens when you're replacing, after replacing? Okay, so just let me stop this screen. One second. Okay, you can see this screen.
Yes, sir.
0, 1 and 2. Okay, so that means, okay, here you had country name France. Okay, so now this data will become like this, right? So wherever you have France, you replace it with 0. Wherever you have got name Spain, you will replace it with 2, and Germany with 1. 2, 1, 0, again 2, 0, 1, 0. Okay, instead of feeding this data, you are going to feed this one. Okay, so this is called as what? Label encoding. Okay, but problem with this label encoding is what? Okay, so when you feed this data, okay, when the categorical information having a equal weightage, now they are just a country names, they don't resemble anything. Okay, but so because of this label encoding, the Spain got the higher weightage compared to the France. So that means Spain, during the prediction, what happens? Okay, when you build a machine learning model, okay, so it gives the higher biasing compared to the France. Okay, it changes the maybe the output which you are supposed to get. So automatically it changes because of this higher weightage given to the Spain. Understood, Lakshmi? What happens here?
Yes, sir.
The France gets the lower weightage compared to the Spain. At this moment it is not required, so they are just a country names. We need to look at them as equal names, equal weightage. Okay, so what is the case when you want to give when you want to keep this as it is? Okay, say example, I have given this something like this. Okay, pass, fail, okay, FCD. So these are the 3 data which I had taken it. Okay, so I had taken FCD, fail, then pass. Okay, in this example case, if I'm assigning pass as 1, fail as 0, FCD as 2. Okay, 2, 0, 1. Now giving this weightage has the meaning. Okay, what about here? Got the difference, guys? Yes, Raghavendra Venkatesh.
Yes, sir.
So you got the difference
Yes.
between the weightage. Okay, now what to do? Okay, so we got to know that this is having a equal weightage. Okay, so giving this kind of label encoding makes a problem when we start going for a data predictions. Okay, so in that case what we do is we apply something called as one-hot encoding. What we do, Raghavendra? One-hot encoding. What is one-hot encoding? So please stay online. Okay, so let me tell you what is that. Okay, we'll discuss it quickly. So just I'm merging it. So what I'll do is, now I'll take this country name France, then I'll take this name Germany, then we'll take up one more country which is Spain. Okay, in this row whether France is present or not.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So give that value as 1. What about Germany?
No, sir. 0.
Spain?
0.
Okay. What about here?
0.
0, 0, 1.
1.
What about this? 0,
0.
1, 0. Spain again?
0.
0,
0. 0. 1. 0. 1. 0. 1. 0. 0.
okay. So like that you start giving the encodings. Okay, you have 4 categorical values or 5, so that's what you do it. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
this is one hot encoding when the data is categorical data is having a equal weightage. When it is having equal weightage, what you do? You will apply label encoding, then one hot encoding. Okay, so see, only after having a label encoding, so then you can apply the one hot encoding. But in now current recent versions, you can directly apply the one hot encoding. Okay. Now, so when do you apply the label encoding?
All are having same frequency.
No, when they have a different weightage, you will apply the label encoding. When they have a same weightage, you will apply the one hot encoding. Okay,
Okay.
these are the differences. Okay, so I think can you see this screen? Yeah, 1 minute, entire screen is better. Yeah, so this screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Label encoding is useful when categorical data has a different meaning or a different weightage. Okay, one hot encoding is applied when the categorical data is having a equal weightage.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Mm. Okay, now let me take you back to this text. Let me ask a question. Naveshri,
Yes, sir.
Naveshri, tell me here. Okay. So what is the code for Spain?
001.
Okay. What about the code for Germany?
010.
Okay. Now I'll do something here. Please look it carefully. Yeah. Okay. Now look at this and tell me what is the code for Germany. No. Yeah. Here.
1
0 and
01.
01.
1.
What about Germany? Can you see this? 01. What about France? 1 0
10.
0 0. Still we can make the difference, right? Without having that last third column. Yes, Naveshri? Can we do the difference or not?
Yes, sir.
We can differentiate between the data. Okay. So now I'll do the something different. Okay. I'll block this column. That means I'll discard this column. Consider. Now France is 00, Spain is 01, Germany is 10, and it remains same. That means without having one additional column, still we can represent that data, right? That means this extra column, any one column, you can discard it. Okay, this is called as removing the dummy column. Okay, so you'll remove the dummy column when you do the one hot encoding. Okay, any one column you can choose it. Okay, it is not mandatory like first column, last column, in between column. Okay, it is always suggested either remove the first or a last column. Even by removing the middle column also you can do it, but it becomes easy to remove the first or a last column. Okay, for that purpose. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyone having doubt regarding this dummy column? Mantesh?
Sir,
Yes, is this clear, Mantesh? How to remove the dummy column? Why we are removing it? Mantesh?
sir.
Clear ra? Edar doubt idena? Artha aita?
Sir,
Okay, Mantesh. Yes, guys. Anybody having questions? Okay. So all of you, I hope all of you taken the note of the things which we discussed today. Okay. So yeah, this is the data pre-processing techniques we applied, and what are the data pre-processing techniques available we had discussed today. So just let me write the summary of